Monarch is building the future for those interested in one wallet that consolidates the best services and functionality into one simple and easy to use app. Monarch will empower users to control all aspects of their financial kingdom from the palm of their hand. You may have heard the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. With Monarch, you own your keys and seed, meaning you own your crypto. With Monarch, you can store, receive, send, swap, buy, sell, and earn interest on your crypto, track your portfolio, the news, the market cap, and more today. We're constantly adding new services and updates too. Learn more today by visiting monarchtoken.io or download the wallet for free today from Apple or Google. Welcome to Beards and Bitcoins, a crypto podcast for the man's man. I am your co-host, Ben from BitBoy Crypto. This is your other co-host, Jay Chains. What's going on?
What is happening, man? We're live in Vegas.
That's right, and we're joined by a very special guest, one of the most fascinating people, in my opinion, in the entire crypto space. BitLord, welcome to the show. So pleased to have you on here.
Good to be here, mate. I'm very excited. You guys are doing a great job out here in Vegas, so let's get into it.
Let's do it, man. So one thing I was interested in talking with you about, and so for myself personally, I've been invested in Bitcoin, known about Bitcoin since 2012. I didn't get involved in the community on Twitter, other than following a few accounts here or there, until 2017. And so I want to know your story. Like, I wasn't there when you first started your account and things like that. So let us know, like, how did you start your Twitter account? Tell people, first of all, what your Twitter account is and how many followers you have, and then tell us how you started with that.
All right, so yeah, my Twitter account's crypto_BitLord. I think I got like 102,000 followers or more than that. And yeah, I started in like 2012. So the whole history is like, been in Bitcoin a bit before that, but it was all to do with like, all the forums and that sort of stuff. So, Bitcoin forums, things like that. Right. Very sort of like closed community. Back then, everyone kept to themselves. You don't want to, put yourself out there too much. So it was all about, just sort of keeping yourself like relatively pseudo-anonymous. I mean, a lot of guys would say anonymous, but it was sort of more pseudo. And yeah, I just wanted some more sort of action, and there wasn't enough on Bitcoin Talk. There's, too many trolls, too much sort of bullshit. So I was looking for more things, and then I found Twitter, and there was like, I remember back in the day, like starting this account and seeing there was like literally nothing on Twitter. It was dead. You could search the Bitcoin hashtag, you could search, crypto hashtag, nothing. You'd see a tweet like maybe once in every couple of days. That's how dead it was. And it was like, it was a wasteland. And I just remember like thinking, okay, well, we're first on something, like, we'll see what happens, it develops. And then out of nowhere, guys start coming in, the community starts to vibe, and mate, it's been one hell of a ride seeing Twitter transform. And I'm just so connected to Twitter. I just know exactly, what's happening, just by checking the sentiment, having the feel to it. Twitter is like the lifeblood of crypto. If you understand Twitter, man, you understand crypto.
Yeah. 100%. When you first started your account, how long until you actually like doxed yourself and like, did a full face video? Because, like a lot of the original people still might have that anonymous account where they're a cartoon.
None of them are anonymous. It's all pseudo, you know what I mean? But still some guys, they like to keep that sort of barrier. I mean, guys like to say and do whatever the hell they like. They like to, shit post. So these guys have PhDs in shit posting. Very rare credential. So, they don't want, it is, man, and they don't want to, they like to say and do what they like and not have the accountability. Not have the accountability come back to them at their job. It's like if you're doing like an office job and you're shit posting your life away, maybe you could lose your job, maybe something. That's why they like to do that. And I understand that because, I came from that environment where, you had to conduct yourself a certain way, in oil and gas, or things would be frowned down upon. And I just thought, well, you know what, like I like to, do me, and that's how I always like to do it. I don't want to have to change something just because of an employer or something like that. So I understand, how and why they do that.
Yeah, and I think it's, one thing that you touched on a second ago was the importance of Twitter to the crypto community. I mean, one thing that I say is that for a lot of people, the community happens on Twitter and then the education happens on YouTube. And that's kind of how those two things to work together. I mean, obviously people still can get educated through Twitter, but Twitter is obviously a short attention span platform. And so if people want to go more depth, they can go to videos on YouTube and stuff like that. But I think that, you're the epitome of the importance of Twitter when it comes to blockchain and the crypto community and things. So, definitely very significant. But one thing I want to ask you about is I actually recently met one of those anonymous accounts in person, so pseudo-anonymous, right? Yeah. I'm not going to say who it was, but I met the guy. He's a bigger Twitter account. He's a really nice guy. one thing I thought that was really interesting was he told me his strategy for Twitter and how he has like hundreds of tweets just in the deck, waiting at any given moment, depending on if it's bearish or if it's bullish and things like that. Do you have that kind of organized approach with your Twitter? Or is it really like you're just, you know, like when you feel like firing one off, you fire one off? Man, that's how I am.
That sounds like, you know, like trying too hard, bro. It's like, look, it honestly is. It's like, you know, I'm going to put all this stuff and then when the situation comes, I'm going to say it. That's bullshit. I mean, the times are the times. If it comes to you, then say it. Like, sure, like I've had some moments where I've saved the tweet in draft because the moment's gone. Or, you know, there was like something else going on and I've left it there. But I'll come back to it. I don't really sit there and like, you know, draft too many, when it gets bullish, I'll publish this one. It's like, fuck it, in a moment, when I feel that shit come from within, I just literally get on like, yo, fucking, you should be all in at this stage, you know? Like, because I feel it, like, that's how it is. And a lot of the time, like, it is just a moment thing. That's Twitter, you know?
Like you said, it's just you being you. It gives you that opportunity.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
That's what we're about on the Beards and Bitcoins podcast. Like we're ourselves. We're unapologetic about it. Like you get what you get with us, you know? And that's the approach that this other Twitter account has. Like that's a fine approach. That's his approach. But that kind of approach doesn't work for everybody. And I'm definitely more on the other side. Like, you know, sometimes I'll fire off 6 tweets in a row. Some days I'll like won't even tweet.
Exactly.
You know?
And the thing is, like, you know, sometimes you're gonna say and do something that's like, you know, even to yourself, you're like, oh shit, that was a mistake. But that's life, you know. Right. You fuck up, you make mistakes. You just keep going, you know. You can't look back on that and bring yourself down. You just keep going forward, man. And that's the thing. Not everybody is gonna agree with what you do or how you do it. As long as you keep going, you keep doing you. That's all that matters, you know. Yeah. You're always gonna piss someone off. You're always gonna make someone happy. Always. As long as you're doing yourself.
Do you know, being from Australia, about Michael Jordan? Do you know Michael Jordan, the basketball player?
Yeah.
Of course, right? I assume you did. Like everybody knows about.
Yeah, he was in Space Jam.
Of course, absolutely. Well, you know, I brought this up to a few people this week. Like, you know, Michael. One thing that taught me a lot about how to, you know, kind of be Teflon in this space, like just where if people troll you or they say things they don't like you do, what you do, like you just let it roll off of you because. There are people out there that believe that Michael Jordan was overrated and wasn't a great basketball player. There's literally people out there that believe that.
Those people are idiots.
They're idiots, I agree. But if Michael Jordan has haters, we're all going to have haters. Exactly, you know, man. None of us are going to be perfect. And I believe if you don't have haters.
It's easy to hate on LeBron though right now.
It is. But if you
watch basketball.
If you don't have haters, then you're probably doing something wrong because then you're trying to appease everybody and you're not being authentic. But let's move on. Let's talk about a different topic, something that, you know, there's definitely been times where I've watched tweets that you've made and it's affected maybe not individually my, you know, micro decisions, but kind of taking a kind of barometer of the overall crypto market when it comes to trading. So you've made one that I specifically remember was about the BitMEX. What was it with that crazy Black Swan event thing with and it had something to do. What was that? The BitMEX what? It was like
all it was like, you know, everyone's looking at the Bitcoin chart for some sort of like indication of what's going to happen next. Everyone's saying, you know, 2K, 3K or, you know, it was really bearish. And I'm just looking at the insurance fund.
That's what the insurance fund,
it's showing like very classic chart pattern where it's starting to like, you know, curve up like that. It needs to go bang or it needs to go straight down. Insurance fund is not going to go straight down. It's going to go up. So all it showed was like there was a massive BTC move. And I just looked at it and I thought, you know what, this is, you know, you look at the fundamentals, block halving, this, that, and the other. Are we going to see, do we have enough time to go down to 2K, pick back up and then take off? Oh, hell no. So it's like, it's bullish. And I'm saying, look, it's on. And look, I just see something like that. Just back at 100%. And it comes out.
It happened. It went boom. It popped off.
Fucking launched, mate. And then, you know, major clout from that. I was like the only guy to call that.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, yeah, cool. You know, just keep shitposting. Like, you know, go on the day because, you know, you go back for every call and stuff like that and go too much on it. It's just another thing. I make bad calls as well. It is what it is, but it's exciting. It's crypto, you know. It's like crypto. One day it's going to the ground and the next day it's to the fucking moon, man. So you roll with it.
Absolutely. So, you know, trading is definitely something, like I mentioned, that, you know, you have a very keen awareness, in my opinion, of, you know, looking at things in a different way than everybody else. So can you just tell us a little bit more about, you know, maybe not necessarily your general trading strategy, but the overall way that you look at trading, you know, whether it's normal investing or also, you know, like derivatives trading and things like that?
Yeah, so you got to have like everyone's different. And, you know, how I approach the market is completely different to someone else. Like I like I like my altcoins. They're, buying spot altcoins. I know that I can weather like a 30, 40% drawdown on some of these altcoins because, you want to buy some size in these things. You want to buy something, you've got to buy it all the way down because when the market turns, they're already pricing it like, 60% higher and there's nothing there. That's where that liquidity is. So, you've got to take these drawdowns. I love the altcoins. There's always going to be a future in altcoins because everyone always wants the next best thing. Yeah. When it comes to BTC, I mainly focus on the derivatives trading. I'm always going to hold some Bitcoin for life, no matter what happens. I think everybody should. So, every now and then I obviously, sell some for this or that and then, sell a little bit, hope to get it back cheaper. But it doesn't always work like that. If you're selling everything and thinking you're going to get it back cheaper, mate, it doesn't work.
It just doesn't work that way.
You keep waiting and waiting, and then before you know it, the price is up 30%, and it's like, fuck, you've lost like a big percentage of your stack. So derivatives trading is the way to go. It's high action. You've got exposure to like 100+ leverage on most of the exchanges. It's a great way to sharpen your edge, but it's all going to come down to how you manage your risk, and that's across like all your trading. So I encourage everyone to experiment with derivatives trading, but a lot of people, it's like they get in a position and they're focusing on, and this is for everything, they're always focusing on the upside potential. It's like, I can make like 10x or 5x or whatever the case. It comes down to how you're managing that bottom side of it. If you can do that successfully, the rest takes care of itself. But very few people that can manage the risk. And the number one thing, to the side of risk is emotions. Massive. You can be, you can trade, you can chart like a Picasso. You can make it look beautiful, amazing. Have the Van Gogh there. But if you can't manage your risk and your emotions in that chart, it's fucking useless. Yeah. And a lot of guys, on Twitter and everywhere, they do these great looking charts, simple shit. I mean, support resistance. That's how hard it is. Really, anyone can do that. Yeah. But what defines you as a trader is how you manage your risk and emotions. So, you see me on Twitter going like, "Wow, fuck," but at the end of the day, like, I'm clued on. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I like to have fun.
So typically when you're doing like a leverage trade, what's the percentage of your portfolio that you're trying to, when you're working with your risk management, so you don't go too big, right? You don't want to get wrecked and just lose it all.
No, I mean, like, it really depends. Like, my strategy now is to be, I'm very patient now. Like, I used to spend like, days. I mean, I had like 4 or 5 days. 5 days was like the maximum bend I had on BitMEX. In the early days, I'd just stay all night, keep going. I'd piss in a fucking bottle, man, side of my bed. That's how big it was. And a lot of guys can relate to that. Yeah. But the thing is, you just become overtrading. So yeah, you'd make a lot of money and it'd go well, but mate, if you get to that stage where you're not thinking right, you're not doing it, something goes wrong. So now it's like, I'll wait literally weeks or months for that right setup. And then when it comes in, you bang it. Back it up. Yeah, back it up, but be reasonable. I mean, like even like a 5x is solid, 5x is solid. Beyond that, it starts to get a little bit hard to manage your risk. You need an absolute pinpoint entry, if you want to step it up to like 20, 30, 40, 50. I've done a few 80x's, even 100x's where I've got a really nice entry and rode that thing out. But as soon as I'm getting into like some major profit, I'm shaving some off, I'm reducing it, I'm tightening the stop and everything. But those are rare trades. There's a lot of guys that trade derivatives will be able to relate to that. There's just, there's a few of those trades that you've just managed to absolutely nail. And it's like, you look back on that and it's just like, one hell of a time. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see the appeal of it because with the main markets, how they move. I mean, right now, you're seeing a little bit of fluctuation, but it's been stagnant. It's been pretty stale. So to be able to do that, you can make something out of what's really been nothing.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a few guys that even on Twitter, they turn like, 3,000 account into 100,000 in like, 2 days of this, of the one of these moves. So that, they're using high leverage, cashing out, compounding on the way up, milking it. These are guys that, early MEX guys that know the game. Yeah. But, once they get to that stage, they're looking after themselves. The thing is now, it's, you're getting a lot of things on BitMEX where it's hard. You're getting these overload issues, things like that. When the overload engine kicks in, it's like when you're down at the casino and you hit the jackpot, it's just like money for alpha. They make millions off these downturns. So I moved a lot of my trading to DueDEX. That's where I'm at now. And I'm comfy, man. That's what's happening.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about like your involvement with DueDEX. On Twitter, you made a few posts about them. Can you give us a little bit more information on DueDEX? I know we're going to be also interviewing CEO of DueDEX here in a little bit, but for the next episode. But want to get your thoughts on what you're doing with them.
Oh, so it started, mate, like just like another DM, like, oh shit, Bitcoin Dad's calling me.
You need to take this live on air.
No, we're good. I'm just on a podcast, brother. I'll call you back in 5, yeah?
Perfect, I love it. It's good. This is good. This is good footage, guys.
See you soon, man. We're going to meet him at 3 after 3. We've got plenty of time.
No, definitely.
I'll text him. But yeah, I got one of these messages, mate. Get a lot of messages, companies, offers, this and that, want to do something, and straight away I just think another bullshit thing, I just whatever. And then I think it was like a week or two later, I heard something about DueDEX and I knew Bo Wang was involved, and I was going, holy shit, like Bo Wang. And then I realized this is a Bo from the early Ethereum, Factum, Mastercoin, BitShares, ProtoShares, AngelShares days, and I'm like, no shit, like, I've known a lot about this guy, through the scene. I don't think he knows about me, but I certainly know about him. He's got those old school crypto ethics, the integrity, the morals, the sort of shit that you can't make in this modern day, like that old school crypto stuff. So it caused me to take a closer look, and then when I seen what they're doing with the exchange, then I was impressed. They're literally the only exchange in the space without an internal trading desk. So they're not trading against their customers, running high frequency bots, skimming the cream, etc. They're looking to put the everyday trader, like myself, like yourself, on the same level playing field. So nobody's getting a preferential treatment ahead of you. When you're trading against your peers, not the exchange as well. Yeah.
Peer to peer to peer?
Peer to peer to
wow.
peer.
So there's peers everywhere.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It's like the beach, peers everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, at first I started looking more into these, I'm going to call them insider trading desks, because that's what they are. Don't walk through there, bro. Don't walk through there. And I still would have seen that from a mile away. Like, I think he's high as fuck. Yeah, and it's like you look closer into what's happening, and like as a trader, you might not feel it, but you're being taken advantage on the books. It might be a couple cents, a couple dollars in these massive volatile moves, but it's being taken from you. It's like when you go to pay for, you go to, closest example happened the other night. Guy goes to drop off some food, you got like $100 bill, and then he's like, oh, sorry, I got no change.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like, it's like big principle thing, you know what I mean? No, we can let her go.
But I mean, it's kind of like, in some ways, it's kind of like what we're trying to fight against with crypto, right? Removing the middleman.
Exactly.
But yet, this is like a problem that's now corrupting even cryptocurrency and trading and platforms and things like that.
It's huge, man. These guys, they have a lot of money, right? They can get away with murder because they're setting up offshore. They don't have any oversight. They're doing the very bare minimum, but they can absolutely just take the piss, mate. What they're doing is illegal on so many levels in the real world, but because it's crypto and where they're setting up, they can get away with this. Yeah. When you start to look at it closer, mate, it's scary. It's really scary what they do. So the reason I'm with DueDEX is because they're taking a stand against that, and I see like an opportunity for an exchange that's doing that to come up strong, hard, and fast, and pretty much win the hearts of the people and get that trade volume, get those users. So I believe in it. That's why I'm here, and I back it 100%.
Oh, that's awesome. So now, are you going to be US compliant? Will it be like KYC, AML?
No. So the thing is, right now, obviously there's no KYC. So they're allowing customers from around the world. Obviously, the standard stuff where you don't allow people from this place, that place, etc., etc. I'm not in risk or legal. I just stay away from that shit. I do what I do. But yeah, it's a pretty much standard thing in crypto.
DueDEX, we love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everybody where they can find you one more time.
Find me on Twitter, crypto_BitLord. Just search BitLord, I'll be there. Have some fun, guys. Please enjoy yourself. But as I always say, do not get wrecked.
Don't get wrecked. Try not to get liquidated.
That's it. Well, thank you guys so much for listening or watching. We'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot, man. We got this shit knocking.